Hi, and welcome to the In Pursuit of Meaning video series. In this video, we're going to be looking at Jung's model of the psyche, its three principal aspects, and how these aspects operate. Jung identified three main aspects in the psyche: consciousness, the personal unconscious, and the collective unconscious. Consciousness is the sense of conscious awareness or attention that you possess whilst awake. At the center of consciousness is the ego, which is your sense of identity, who you consider yourself to be. At the center of the ego is the sense of I or I am, which in Jungian terms is an archetype, meaning simply that although identities differ between people, the sense of I awareness is a universal experience. The personal unconscious, this is an aspect of your mind which falls below the threshold of conscious awareness. It is still present in your psyche, but you, meaning your conscious self, are not aware of it ordinarily. Sometimes you do become aware of it, for example during dreams, when images are presented which you have not consciously constructed, or during times of high emotion when you act out of character as though possessed. It contains all your forgotten memories, aspects of yourself which have never been made conscious, as well as stuff about yourself which either you, or someone with influence over you, decided was inappropriate and has subsequently been repressed. It contains both dark and light aspects, talents and blights. At the center of the personal unconscious, mirroring and opposing the ego, is the shadow. It is everything the ego is not, and frequently trips the ego up, thwarting the conscious will. The collective unconscious is possibly Jung's greatest single contribution to depth psychology. The collective unconscious is a shared universal layer of the unconscious psyche. It is the unconscious of the whole of humankind. It is what connects us to each other on an unconscious level, and it is the psychic well from which your individual consciousness springs prior to differentiating itself to become a unique and individual being. The collective unconscious is populated and structured by archetypes, universal forms. At the center of the collective unconscious is the archetype of wholeness, called the self archetype, which mirrors the ego in consciousness and the shadow in the personal unconscious. It is the archetype which orders the entire psychic structure, a universal objective ego. The goal of Jungian psychology is the integration of the conscious and unconscious aspects of the psyche into a unified whole. For more videos in this series, please visit www.inpursuitofmeaning.com and sign up for our newsletter series.